This is for Paul Durcan, who died yesterday at the age of 80, Irish poet. It was amazing. This was my favourite book of poetry by Paul, and Daddy Daddy. This was my favourite poem of Paul's. This is called Ulysses. I am hiding from my father on the roof of Joyce's tower in Sandy Cove. He is downstairs in the gloom of the Joyce Museum, exchanging euphemisms with the curator, the poet Michael Hartnett. Meteorological euphemisms, wet and cold for June. I am standing at the battlements. I am 18 years old. The battle is whether or not he will buy a copy of Ulysses. It is a battle about money, but it is also a battle about morality, or morals as it is called. It began this morning at the breakfast table when I asked him for 21 shillings to buy a copy of Ulysses. He refused on the grounds that on top of it being an outrageous sum of money which a poorly paid judge could ill afford, it was a notoriously immoral book. Even the most liberal-minded Jesuits had condemned Ulysses as being blasphemous as well as pornographic. My mother jumped around from the kitchen sink. Give him the money for the wretched book and let the pair of you stop this nonsense, for pity's sake. Will we ever see peace and sense in this house? My father stormed out of the kitchen, the Irish Independent under his arm. I'll not be a party to subsidising that blackguard, bringing works of blasphemy into this house in the year of our Lord 1963. I will not be an accessory to blasphemy. I caught the 46A bus out to Joyce's Tower, newly opened as a museum. The curator offered to share with me a carafe of vodka left over from a literary soiree the night before. It was the day after Bloomsday, Monday, June 17, 1963. We sat in a compatible silence, contemplatively, affably, until upheaval of gravel eradicated reverie. I rushed to the door and glimpsed my father at the foot of the iron steps. I climbed up to the roof, hoping to hide from him up there in the marine fog horns bleating in the bay. I hear footsteps behind me, and I know it is he. He declares, I suppose we will have to buy that book. What did you say the name of it is? I tell him that the name of it is Ulysses. I follow him down the staircase, and he submits. Mr. Hartnett, I understand you stock copies of a book entitled Ulysses. I would like to purchase one copy of same. Certainly, your lordship, certainly, replies the ever-courteous Chinese-eyed curator, when from his wing-backed chair behind his desk he takes from a drawer a copy of the jade-jacketed Ulysses, the Bodley Head edition. My father asks him if he would have brown paper with which to wrap the green satanic novel, make a parcel out of it. The curator peers into a waste paper basket made by the blind, as if peering down into a bottomless lift shaft, casts a funicular questing glance at my father before fishing out crumpled bags of brown paper which the night before had ferried bottles of vodka. He lays them out on the desktop and smooths them, taking pains to be obsequiously extra punctilious, extra fastidious. Formally, he hands it over to my father, as if delivering to some abstract and intractable potentate a peace gift of a pair of old shoes. My father pronounces, "Thank you, Mr. Hartnett." The curator, at his most extravagantly unctuous, replies, "Very glad to be able to oblige you, your lordship." My father departed Joyce's Tower with the book. The next day, when I asked my mother if she'd seen it, she said it was in their bedroom, beside my father's bed. Her bed was beside the window, and his bed was between her bed and the wall. And there it was, on his bedside table, Ulysses, with a bookmarker in it, a fruit gum wrapper. at the close of the opening episode. When a few weeks later I got to reading Ulysses myself, I found it as strange as my father, and as discordant. It was not until 4 years later, when a musical friend gave me my first lessons, that Ulysses began to sing for me, and I began to sing for my father. Daddy, Daddy, my little man, I adore you. God bless Paul.